Hello and welcome back, and today we will take a look at a very important concept, and we are going to take a look at momentum, how to find momentum. We'll also explore what momentum is and how we can use it in our own trading to find better trades. So first of all, let's get started with momentum. And when we are talking about momentum, we mean basically one of two things. Either it is a trend strength. So when we look here at this chart, for example, you can see price was in a very nice uptrend here. We almost did not have any bearish bars. It was just green bars here going up. So the momentum was up here, the trend was up, and then here suddenly the momentum faded, as we would call it, which means that this trend is running out of buyers. We are entering a sideways market, and here we don't have any momentum at all. Then when we look at a chart like this, we don't have any momentum in the overall picture. You can see that price is just going up and down, very narrow range, no real trends. But when we look a little bit deeper, we can see that on a micro level there is some type of momentum. So here you can see we do have strong bearish bars here at this area, very nice downtrend in this sideways market. So you can see here momentum does not always mean that price is just going up in one straight line, but even within a range we can find nice momentum here, very strong candles here as well. And so we can find momentum in different areas here as well. To the upside, we did have a very short-term upside momentum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish bars here with very little bearish bars in between. So this is also a classic momentum drive, but a little bit of a different way of looking at it. And then here's a nice example how the bullish momentum reversed to a down momentum. And now when we combine our micro momentum knowledge, where we just look at individual candles, how many bullish, how many bearish bars are there, how strong are the candles, and we combine it with our overall trend analysis knowledge, then we can come up with very nice trading scenarios, and we can understand price charts in a much better way. So if we start here, you can see price was in a very nice uptrend. Here we did not have any bearish bars at all, just green bars going up. Then here at this point we did have a consolidation, which is normal after a trend wave. Always or very often does price enter such a sideways market here. It gives the buyers and the sellers some time to make up their mind. Will price reverse? Will we go up? And so you can see at all the time we stayed above this black line, which is the 20 period moving average from the Bollinger Bands. So you can see as long as price stays above this moving average, we are in an uptrend, especially when we see such nice momentum here during this trending phase. And although you can see here that price did change here a little bit, let me mark that for you. It was the first time that we had more than one consecutive bearish bar. This does show a little bit of a downside momentum, but as long as we stay above the 20 period moving average, there's usually no reason why we should short such a market. So although you can see something is changing here in the market structure and the momentum, we do have more bearish bars here than what we've seen previously here during this uptrend. As long as we stay above this black line, everything is usually still fine, and then price continues to trade higher. Let me get rid of this for now. And here we have another trend wave with more bullish momentum. You can see that here multiple bullish trend waves again, and then here at the top, this is a classic pattern. It is a double or triple top with a few failed breakout attempts, a few candle rejections. This is not enough information to short yet, but you can see what happens afterwards. Again, we have two bearish bars here and then followed by this huge momentum bar. So this is a very important microstructure and a momentum shift. Let me mark that so you can see that. This is the strongest bearish bar we have seen all the way during this whole trend wave or this trending phase. So clearly we have something shifting here, especially if this happens after two trend waves. It makes a complete reversal even more likely. At the same time, we are breaking here below this 20 period moving average, which shows that the momentum is shifting here. We struggle a little bit here on the next candle, which is not too bad. Not always do prices or trends completely reverse. Sometimes, especially around the 20 SMA, we do have a little bit of a consolidation, but you can see the momentum quickly picked up again. We had another very strong bearish bar compared to what has happened here, and you cannot find anything that looks similar. So clearly something is changing here. We are moving from a bullish market to a bearish market. We probably also do have some type of horizontal support and resistance area. So depending on how we draw that, you can see previous highs. This acted then as strong support here together with the 20 period moving average. We broke below it, we then came back into this level, we retested it, and then we sold off even more strong. So you can see how we could anticipate such a reversal here. This would then probably be the real signal here. And if you want to learn more, I will put a link in the description below to our Forex price action course, where we'll take a detailed look at all the nuances here. We look at different reversal patterns, how to anticipate such a reversal with price action signals, and then how to time such markets. But let's look to another example. Here we do have a very classic reversal setup or reversal scenario. So again, we are starting here at the bottom left corner and we are in a very strong uptrend. You can see my annotations here. We don't have any bearish bars here in between, just the occasional one or two, and all other bars are green. So here then we enter a double top. We did have a first bearish bar. Of course, this is not enough to short yet, because you can see here during an uptrend it is likely to have an occasional bearish bar. Prices or trends don't just go up in one straight line, but every now and then you have a moment where price is pausing, the buyers and sellers are repositioning themselves. So this is normal. Then we have our double top, which is increasing the likelihood of a sell-off. And then here suddenly we see the first time that we have two bearish bars and two consecutive bearish bars. Then afterwards price is giving us a follow through back to the 20 period moving average, which is a very nice signal, and you could have probably traded that on the lower time frames. And you can even see here price is finding support at this important support and resistance flip zone. So again, that's something you will learn in our price action course. And then here price continues its uptrend. We keep making higher highs, and then here during this phase you can see again the momentum is clearly up. Price is making higher highs and higher lows, and we never have more than one bearish bar, and price is just moving higher until we reach this point here where we do have some type of a rejection pattern. We spike into the Bollinger Bands, which is immediately reversed. This is another very important pattern that you will learn. This is then a reversal signal. It is not enough to sell yet, but you can see price is finding follow-through momentum, how we would call that. A second consecutive bearish bar here after this top. It is showing that the momentum is a little bit shifting to the downside. And then here the final signal after we break this moving average here, the 20 period, with a very high momentum bar. We are closing almost at the very bottom. But just looking at what we have seen previously, this is the strongest bearish bar that we have seen all the way throughout the whole trending phase. And together with this Bollinger Band spike, it makes total sense that we are now seeing follow-through momentum. And then afterwards you can see here 1, 2, 3 bars. It is leading us right into this flip zone, resistance turning into support. Price is a little bit struggling here, but right now the last candle yesterday you can see very strong momentum to the downside, very small wick. This shows two very strong momentum bars to the downside. It has a high likelihood that price is following through here on the momentum, but we will take it candle by candle. And you can see again how we can put this nicely into context and how we can make sense of charts just by looking at momentum. Then here is another recent trade example, one trade that I was in. We were coming from this very strong uptrend here all the way above the 20 SMA. Then we entered here a sideways range market, very clear defined boundaries of the support and the resistance area. And then once we go down to the 4 hour, you can see that's our support level from the daily time frame. And then suddenly here, price always got rejected here on this level if we draw it correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections here, and then suddenly something is changing. We do see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish bars here, consecutive bearish bars, very different than what we have seen here previously. And also, what is even more important, we do have the break of this support level with a high momentum bar. So you can see this bar, which is breaking the support level, is very strong. We're closing at the very bottom, a very large bearish bar. And then afterwards you can see here price is following through. We are staying close to the outer Bollinger Bands, always below the 20 SMA. So you can see momentum and momentum trading can not only be used for trend and trend wave analysis, but you can also use that for timing support and resistance breakouts, and also in my own trading I use it a lot for trend lines and trend line breaks. And once you have a clear break with a high momentum candle of a support and resistance or a trend line, then usually you have a high probability trade setup. To conclude this video, let's take a look at the first example, US dollar Canadian, for our chart. And as I said in the beginning, we were in a strong uptrend, high momentum here to the upside, and then here recently the momentum faded, which just means that price is running out of steam. We are just moving sideways. You can see that price is just going up and down in a very small window. So here we don't have any momentum whatsoever anymore, and many traders make the mistake that they automatically assume that if something like this happens after an uptrend, then the price will reverse and move lower, and then they will just short it somewhere in this area, which is a very bad move because we don't have any momentum, and we always need momentum and momentum information to give us our trading signals. So as long as price stays here in this area, you should not do anything, because this could just be a new consolidation in an overall uptrend, and if price breaks out to the upside with a strong momentum bar, then you are caught in a losing trade, in an unnecessary losing trade, which is even worse. So always make sure that you are waiting for a clear breakout of such patterns with a high momentum bar. So if price breaks out of this area with a high momentum bar, then you might have a good opportunity to short such a market. But as of now, this is not something that you should trade, and always wait for momentum. Always go with the momentum, because trading with momentum is always easier, and price and the trades usually work out much nicer if you go with momentum. And that's it for our short little momentum video. If you have any questions, as always, just leave a comment below, and I will also put a link to our Forex trading course in the description, where you can learn more about the way of trading and the way of trading with momentum and other tools and price action concepts.